All right, what is going on, Facebook fans? Thank you for joining us. You got myself here, Anand, and my good friend, upline, mentor, and amazing leader, Mike Bitonti, on the line. Thank you so much, Mike, for jumping on this Facebook Live. First time, get to kind of introduce you to my kind of, Facebook world and stuff. Because, guys, I want to just give a big shout out to Mike. The title of this video I've called Leveling Up, right? As you know, recently I've joined a new venture. And to kind of carry on my journey, right? I've been on this journey of, online business building. I've come from one platform, had some great success and experience over there. And if you're anything like me, right, where you kind of feel like, great, you reached a certain point, right, where you know there's another level to this game, right? And you want to hit that level within yourself, right? I just want to let you know that a huge part of you being able to level up in your game, right, is to be surrounded by more people who are already leveled up in the game, right? And I can't think of anyone better right now that I know in my life right now. We've only actually met for 2 weeks, right? So I'll get into introducing Mike in a second. But guys on the Facebook Live now, let us know who's there, who's watching, where are you watching in from, and let me know where are you at. Are you here because you want to level up, right? Are you in a position where you want to level up in your game, right? And you want to bring the best, right? So you can, the better you are, the better you can attract and the better you can give, right? So I want to know who I'm speaking to, who's in the house. Rich is in the house. Bianca, Gabby, great to see you. So yeah, guys, like I said, I'm here with Mike Bitonti. Mike, just a huge shout out to you. You're helping me. You're helping the team so much, right? Just 2 weeks into our journey here, so much so far, and even though we've been in the industry for a while and we work together as a team in some of our previous platforms, we have learned so much. I'm inspired by you. So, Mike, why don't you just share a little bit about yourself, your experience coming into this where you are in this industry, because you've had a bit of a ride in this industry, and we got a lot of you got a lot of valuable insights that you can share with us today about leveling up. So, take it away, Mike.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Anand. I appreciate it. I appreciate the introduction and the value that you bring to the table, man. You're such a sharp cat, and it's super exciting to be around the youthful network marketer. In September, it will be my 10th year in this industry, and I like to describe it as the washing machine, where you're just going around in circles, and a lot of times you don't really know if it's working, how it's working. I mean, we can look at the numbers, we can look at the paycheck, and the freedom, but the duplication, is that working? Sometimes everyone's super happy and sometimes, I'm not delivering enough and there's not enough. And I think that this industry offers an unbelievable opportunity for leveraged income and residual income. But I don't think that a lot of people understand what it takes, and the self-discipline, the self growth, and just the sheer mindset that it takes to really dig your feet in and plant roots for what is going to be a long-term build, right? And for me, I think that that's one of the biggest things that I learned in my network marketing career is, even in my younger stages, I never planted roots. It was always about the next. It was always about the hype. It was always about, well, where are the leaders jumping? And you're following a bunch of bunny rabbits who don't have deep roots, right? But in network marketing, there are people out there who don't jump from company to company. They don't make decisions in a matter of minutes because they know that their paycheck is getting ready to be lost. And if they don't get ahead of the jump, they're not going to be in the same position of power. I really wanted to learn from those people. Nick Sarnicola being one of them. That's who trained me in this industry. Marco Passanante, some of these names that maybe you've never heard of, because they don't bunny hop. They plant their roots. They build one company. They build it really well, and they create monster stories under one umbrella. Right. I'm sorry. I got dogs. I'm in Mexico right now, so you're
Oh
gonna have
yeah,
to forgive me. I got some noise in the background, but
that's cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
but that was it for me, Anand, man. Is I was just tired of following the hype train. I was tired of being on that train. It wasn't leading me to where I wanted to go. And so I found some mentors, Corey Cromray, Thomas Sten, and they position themselves with B and have their flags planted. And they're people who truly know how to plant and plug and create duplication based off of development systems and training, as opposed to creating duplication based off of positioning and hype.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember the first day I even joined, right? Because this is like during a company that's already established, right? It's not like it's just a launch or some sort of pre-launch. This is just like during a normal process, right? And I remember like I signed up and stuff, and I got this like link to like, right, go through this training. Literally, I didn't have to talk to my sponsor at all, right? Who's not on the line right now? That would be George, but huge shout out to George. He's helped me level up in my journey so much over the last year, especially. But he'll be on for another Facebook Live in future. But it's literally just like the quality of these systems, right? That you guys have obviously put together. It doesn't require you to be there, you know. Like when I remember when you're talking about how, you know, your job is not to be customer support. Your job is not to do, you know, even deliver on the product essentially as well, right? And in general, then as much as it comes to network marketing, I love your vision and how you've obviously built in the past before. You're going out the back door, right? You're being in this place, right, where you actually here to have a lifestyle, right? You're not here to be here 24/7 kind of thing. And I'll be honest, whilst I enjoy the process, I don't want to get caught up in that, right? I want to learn in the ways, right, so that I can actually create time, right? And it doesn't have to take like 3 years for me to enjoy my life. I can make the money, have enough amount of time, and manage myself so that I'm living my best life, because life is short. And I love the way that, you know, you live your life, you know, both you and George. So that's definitely the kind of style that I want to be around. So what can you say about that? How, you know, network marketing kind of journey goes for people if they're not trained, if they're not leveled up? Because I believe, honestly, that's what it's going to take, right? Whatever that means to level up, to get to that kind of level.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the big conversation in that topic is human based versus system based, right? Like if I build my business, Anand, and it needs Mike Batanti, what happens if I go skydiving and the parachute doesn't come out? You know, like like all the hard work, like we're talking about years of work on something. And what happens if the CEO or the president dies, or what happens if the CEO or the president, like something happens, like, and it's so important to make it about a team system, not about one all-star, right? You see it time and time again in sports is they make the offense about one player, and then all the defense has to do is figure out how to stop that one player, and the entire offense falls apart, right? And I've built network marketing companies where if I wasn't there, the opportunity wasn't being presented. If I wasn't speaking, nobody was speaking. If I wasn't selling, nobody was selling, right? If I wasn't running leadership calls, nobody was it's just not what I'm looking for these days, right? There's so much about life that there's so much about life to explore outside of network marketing. And I think that that's where people get lost, you know, and you see it with the hype train. Like your entire life is network marketing. And if that's what you want, by all means, carry on. But for the most of us, network marketing is just a means to an end, right? Network marketing is just an opportunity for great, solid, passive cash flow so that I can pay my bills and be happy and maybe adventure, maybe do more of my music, more of my art, whatever the case may be. And, you know, I think a lot of people lose that. And more importantly, they follow people who, does that person really have what you want? You know, is 12 hours behind the computer screen running Zoom call after Zoom call after Zoom call after Zoom call after Zoom call and making $10,000 a month, but never enjoying that $10,000 a month. Is that really what you want? And I started to identify a different breed of network marketer where, you know, they live and they built it and they put in the hard work. They put in the jail time of the Zoom calls. That's what I call it, the jail time of like, I have to be here. I can't go anywhere else. I have to run these Zoom calls. I got to get momentum. And after we get momentum, it's about duplication. And after we've solidified duplication, we need to improve that duplication by systemizing the entire process. And that's where we are now, right? Is just systemizing duplication to the point where it doesn't need anyone specific. It just needs a volunteer army who wants to go through the system and create a better lifestyle for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And me myself being a kind of like a funnel expert, automation expert, like I absolutely love all that kind of stuff. Like I actually had that going. I was, pretty much putting that into practice in my previous businesses, but didn't have the matching kind of, value on the back end of that essentially, right? Like I create all the perfect systems, but at the end of the day, if the offer is not amazing or something about, the system whilst you're inside isn't amazing, then, it's of no use. So as well as,
Yeah.
having system, it's the power to drive the system, right? And that's what you're really good at. You're really good. I've noticed already how much you've helped our team level up. We all literally say like you've literally helped us massively transform our mindsets, from going from like bronze to elite, from going from like whatever it takes, right, to take us into a new level of action, right? And therefore
Yeah.
shoot for a higher level of standard, shoot for a higher level of quality that we're going to bring in, rather than do what most people do, which is kind of maybe pick on the vulnerable, the easy targets and all that kind of stuff. Like I remember when
Yeah.
we were in our previous platform, a huge thing, right, was about recruiting up, right? And actually attracting quality people, because we've absolutely know we've got the platform that's worth it, right? For a millionaire to vision to become a billionaire, essentially, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So what I love is that, yeah, you're helping us on our journey to, attract more, right? And
Yeah.
that's not something that many people get taught. It's kind of something they have to go through themselves, because they, like I said, fall for the trap of let's get people in, and then all of a sudden they just get like, what's that word? They just burnout. How does, I need to say about systems, but
Yeah.
the type of people you bring in, what do you say about that?
Yeah.
Do
I
you hear me?
think the big thing is, I mean, for a lot of network marketers, like, yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, got you.
Okay. Yeah. So for the young network marketer, I think that cutting the umbilical cord is so
Same.
important, right? Like you get thrown into an environment where you're following certain leaders and then you end up following them everywhere, right? And they're jumping. So like what is the values and the commitment level of the leadership organization that you're following? Right. And like that was a huge turning point for me, man. And the conversation about burning out is it it's easy to burn out when you're constantly something new, when you don't actually have your flag planted. And the main reason why a lot of people don't have their flag planted is because the people who they're following don't have their flag planted, right? Like monkey see, monkey do. The leader runs a lot of the mindset. And I think that for most people, and the greatest moment in network marketing for me was when I walked away from the initial group of network marketers who brought me in. That was like
Hmm.
the most pinnacle moment for me in this industry coming up on 10 years was when I said thank you to the people who introduced me to the industry. And then I went to go find people who much more represented my values and the type of success that I was looking for. And being able to, be the black sheep, go against the grain. As entrepreneurs, we're already going against the grain, but even more so going against the grain of following your heart and exploring. And I think that that's a major thing that a lot of people don't understand, is that we can be friends and not in the same organization, and that's okay, you know. And there are so many opportunities out there for different leadership, and it's okay to choose different leadership. If you're tired of starting over, like maybe take a look at who's basing the decisions, who are you following, right? And really look at that person. And even more so, this is on a much deeper level outside of business. Is here's what you'll find with every single mentor, Anand. There are things about them that you can learn, and there are things about them that you don't want to learn from them. We are all humans, subject to flaw, with our own bad habits and our own different things that don't align with you. So the real challenge is, how do I take what I need from the people who have what I want, and take that knowledge and take those resources and that information? And then how do I start getting to a place where I don't need anyone? And that's where network marketing begins. is when you don't need anybody, right? The resources from the upline, they're great, they're available, they're there. Very important in the decision-making process is what system am I walking into for duplication, right? What's the company? What's the all those things are done in due diligence. But where network marketing really begins is when you make the decision that like I'm doing this with or without anybody, and when you start building and working and fighting to get to that place where with or without anybody, oh, he's not coming, cool, I don't need him, I never needed him, so I'm going. Like, oh, this person's not joining, and so what, we can still be friends, I'll still see you on the holidays, right? We'll link up in Bali, we'll link up in Cabo, but you know, it's okay because I don't need you to do this business. What I need is myself. And that's where a lot of people, you know, they base decisions off their uplines instead of off their own education and due diligence. They base their movement off of hype and energy and fluff instead of off of their own due diligence, and taking a look at systems and taking a look at, you know, values and morals and ethics. And then when all of those things are gathered, making the decision that with or without anybody, I can plug into this and I'm going to do it on my own. That's where network marketing begins for me. And it took me about 4.5 years to get there.
Yeah, and that speaks volumes. That really speaks truth. I remember my millionaire mentor, who both me and George learned from as well, right? Always talking about being the CEO of your business. How so many people coming from the 9-to-5 world just still live in this kind of employee kind of mindset, rather than actually like they're a CEO of their own business, treating this as much like it was a normal traditional business of just what's required and what's the work related to do. But anyway, Mike, I know you haven't got a lot of time because you got jumping into another meeting, but I really appreciate you for just taking some time to be here on this call. I know we get the value and the golden nuggets and all that kind of magic from Mike in the Zoom calls privately for our team and leadership calls. So I know the team really appreciates you. You can see all the shout outs in the comments right now as well. So yeah, man, I mean, we got to schedule that next leadership call, right? So that, you know, breathe more of this mindset into the team. It really just comes to that, right? To change a person. But just quickly, if you could just quickly share, you know, because you've been in this company since, you know, June 2020, I believe, right? And, you know, the team that you built up so powerful. Yeah. We got so many more leaders to kind of learn from. Can you just maybe share a little bit about, you know, this team, this leadership team that we're working with, and where we're going with this, and you know why we're such a strong force that, you know, who want to level up, like why should they join us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the economic alphas is run by some individuals who have done amazing things in network marketing, right? The combination of Corey Cromray and Thomas Then with the backing of Jose Ardone, like I don't care where you're at, right? That's why it was so easy for me to make my decision as to where I was going. Is that combination, it fit the bill for what I'm looking for. The company speaks for itself. The company is going to be monstrous no matter what any of these scared network marketers who are literally losing their paychecks are saying about B. No matter what anybody says, like the company is absolutely going in an unbelievable direction. But to have Jose Ardone working with Corey and Thomas, working with me, and me just be able to, like, unbelievable value that just gets passed through the stream, right? Passed through the stream. It really sets the stage. The systems that come with economic alphas, like the one that you were talking about that we build for onboarding to eliminate 85-95% of the questions that somebody's going to bring to you in the first 14 days, right? The continued advancement and the reinvestment into systemizing this so that it's not hue dependent, right? It gives people that freedom. Inside of network marketing, there are slave chains, and most people don't recognize that. Your slave chain is the fact that you're still on tour. You're still traveling from city to city. Some people love that, right? Like Alex Morton, I'm sure he loves to travel and speak on tour, but like some people's organizations, they're going to crumble if they don't do this, and this, because it's human dependent. And economic alphas just has something so different, you know. And then you take the variety of our leadership, like TTG Sammy out of Atlanta, right? A young, sharp African-American rock star. And he just hits a whole demographic that I could never hit and make an impact in, right? You have Corey, who works with just a whole different level of 6-7-figure a worker, and you have the ability to expose somebody like that to a Corey, right? You have Sal Fox and Tanner, right? Restaurant industry. Sal's a first-time network marketer who's created, an unbelievable story for himself, and he really speaks to those types of people, right? And then you have me, where like I'm good at business, but my focus is on Christ. My focus is on my relationship with Christ, and my focus is on my philanthropy. It was never about the money. It was absolutely never about the money, and it was more about, this is a vehicle that's going to help me change the world. Right. So when you step into the economic alphas, you have this wide variety of different leaders, right? Alex Bablialakis, like an unbelievable mindset where he doesn't look at network marketing like MLM. He looks at it like traditional business. And you get to learn from a variety of different people. And what that does for the average network marketer is that you can plug anybody into economic alphas, and there's going to be something for everyone, right? And I think that that's what separates us from everybody else, and what nobody else is going to be able to offer is diversity of leadership, where we can bring people to the same party, the same music festival, but there's different stages putting on different genres of music. And you can come into the festival and identify which show and which music you want to go dance to, and then go dance to that music, right? And it becomes something super amazing. So we're having a lot of fun. It's only going to get bigger, with or without anybody, right? I got nothing but love for everybody who's joining B, right? Regardless of anything else. For me, it's just very simple. Economic Alphas does it way better than everybody else. And we're really about systems and putting everyone in that position where you're not a slave to your business. We spend 3 to 5 years building it the right way based off systems, and that creates true freedom, which was the entire point of network marketing to begin with. So I appreciate you for having me on. I appreciate everyone tuning in. And I'm looking forward to doing these more often, brother.
Yeah, 100%. We'll definitely get George on the next call as well with us. And tomorrow we got our opportunity call as well, the Impact Over Income team. Bring it to you live. So put some details of that. It'll be at 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST. If Mike's available at the time, we'll get Mike to rock it. Otherwise, we'll get any one of our leaders, even myself. I love speaking about what we've got ourselves into. Because this is absolutely mind-blowing. If you don't know what we're talking about, if you've not been following, like, make sure you turn up to this call. Reach out to someone if you've heard about this video from them, and ask them for the invite, because this thing is absolutely mind-blowing. Never seen anything like it. But that's just part of it. The leadership team and what we're getting here from the leadership is truly what's going to get this. Truly what's going to help you elevate in your success levels. All right. So Mike, I've kept you longer than I was thinking, but I do appreciate your time. So thank you so much, and we'll see each other tomorrow. All right.
Cheers, brother.
Thanks everyone for tuning in as well. Lots of value. Drop some comments if you got some value, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.